first of all, let me tell you about Wiseman CyberSec. You have joined this session, तो उसका कुछ रीजन होगा. हम ये सेशन क्यों कर रहे हैं उसका भी कुछ रीजन होगा. And why we are qualified to take this session in the first place. So Wiseman CyberSec, Wiseman InfoSec Private Limited की ही एक सब ब्रांच है. Sir, I'm not comfortable in Hindi. Can you please teach in English? English, Akhil, I will be using English as well, but mainly it will be in English only. Complete English is not possible for me as well. I would say like there will be a gap in the language. I would say it's a language barrier for me too. But yeah, I'll try. So, who are we? Who is Wiseman CyberSec? What is Wiseman CyberSec? So, Wiseman CyberSec is a specialized training and development division of Wiseman InfoSec Private Limited, dedicated to closing the cybersecurity skill gap through practical education and strategic consulting. Government of India recognized startup based in Greater Noida. So basically, we are a sub branch of the company known as Wiseman InfoSec Private Limited, and we focus on delivering training and development by the basically we are in the training business, I would say, and as well as the education business, and not just any education, the practical education, the real world knowledge that you need in the domain of cybersecurity to make your career out of it. Okay, and we are based in Greater Noida, which is in Delhi. We are also recognized by DPPIT, and we are funded as well. We provide trainings on different domains like offensive security, defensive security, cloud security. There's GRC and compliance training as well. We also provide corporate and private individual trainings, also known as one-on-one trainings. They are instructor-led, and there are basically completely practical training. We try to minimize the theory as much as possible. जितना हो सकता है उतना theory को कम करते हैं, and जितना ज़्यादा हो सके हम real world practicals आपको सिखाते हैं, so that you are job ready after a training. Right, and currently we are we are also in a collaboration with Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, and there we have collaborated for the cybersecurity programs. Also, we are following a certain model for the academic collaboration. You can read it on your screen. I should मेरे को जरूरत नहीं है उसको read out करने की. We also offer personalized mentorship and one-on-one trainings, customized trainings as per your needs. And we also offer tool-specific deep dives and attack scenario analysis as well. There are several reasons to choose us. One of them is that after doing any training from us, you will be job ready, and you will be having the practical exposure, practical knowledge that is needed in this domain. So, if you are ready to build a cybersecurity career, I will be glad if you want us to become the part of that journey. So now, who is Abhilash Singh? मैं कौन हूँ? So I am a data forensics, digital forensics, and data recovery expert. I have expertise in digital forensics, digital evidence analysis, forensic analysis, data recovery, and digital evidence handling. I specialize in computer forensics and mobile device forensics, as well as practical evidence handling of the digital evidence. All the three things are very different things. हम इसके बारे में जानेंगे during the training. And my approach is basically follow the things as much as possible by the book only, right? Because digital evidence is very sensitive in nature, and we'll just learn about it right now. My core technical specializations are, as I told you, computer forensics, mobile device forensics, and evidence handling. I do cases. I have some case studies to share with you as well, and I am sure that you will find them interesting. I also hold several industry standard certifications. In total I hold around 25 certifications, chota mota sab kuch jod ke, but the more focused on the forensics ones are parabens forensic operator, computer operator, DP2C operator. I'm also a CompTIA certified security plus. I'm a CEH, I'm a CHFI, ECDFP, CDFE, CCC. I'm a certified cyber criminologist. I'm a certified EC Council instructor and a cybersecurity instructor as well. So these are my credentials to prove that I am the right person to teach you what I am teaching right now. My professional mission is basically bridging the gap between the industry, that is the practical training, right? So I hope you are clear with this. You know now Wiseman CyberSec कौन है, Wiseman InfoSec कौन है, and Abhilash Singh कौन है. Now, to start with the session, we'll start with computer forensics today. This is the day one. On the day two, we'll learn about the mobile device forensics. That will be tomorrow. So for now, we will focus on the computer forensics. So, what is computer forensics? एक बहुत ही कॉमन क्वेश्चन है जब भी आप कुछ नया सीखते हैं. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी कॉमन थिंग टू आस्क समवन, राइट? लाइक व्हाट इज दिस फील्ड? ओके. So, computer forensics is a specialized discipline of forensic science itself, right? And it has a legal and technical fusion to it. There is a legal side to it, there is a technical side to it, right? And then there is a scientific side to it. So, it's a completely a fusion of three things, right? So, computer forensics focuses on the computer devices like laptop, desktop, or IoT devices. All these things comes under your computer forensics. Now, why do we need computer forensics? The answer is simple: the alarming rise of cybercrime. The cybercrime is rising at a very alarming rate. Like, as we are speaking right now, somebody is getting scammed, somebody is being a victim of a cybercrime. And cybercrime is not just about financial crimes. There are a lot of cybercrimes. There is cyberbullying. There is a very common crime which is going around these days. That is sextortion, right? Blackmailing and all that. So we need cybercrime investigators. We need digital forensic investigators. So demand to hai. There is a huge demand of professionals. Now, what will a computer forensic analyst or a cyber forensic analyst or a digital forensic analyst do in a cybercrime investigation? So the crime that is committed in the cyber world, to investigate that, we need someone who knows what that cyber world is and how to work around in that cyber world and gain evidence via that cyber world, right? That's why we need digital forensics and computer forensics. Computer forensics approach, a scientific approach. So in computer forensics, it's not just like we just go around and just seize the computer and just okay, that the investigation is done. There is more to it. So first of all, we have to identify the source of evidence, potential source of evidence. So for example, we are investigating a case in which we are like, let's just take an example that the authorities raided a house in search of a criminal who is involved in, let's just say, illegal drug sale. Okay. Now he or she is doing that illegal drug sale via darknet. Okay. And all this process is online. So there is no physical trail to it, right? We cannot just go into a house and we won't be able to find the documents lying around proving that the person is responsible for some kind of crime that has been committed. Now, in order to do that, in order to prosecute that criminal, in order to basically arrest that criminal, we need evidence. हर एक country में we need evidence. Every country requires evidence, right? You can take someone in your custody without evidence on the basis of suspicion only, but you cannot arrest them. To arrest them, to prosecute them in the court of law, you need the evidence. Now, the evidence is not just like lying around everywhere, right? For example, in this case, we need to do identification. So this is a cyber crime. So we need evidence of the cyber crime. And that cyber crime evidence is usually present in the devices linked to the cyber world. For example, computers, mobile phones, IoT devices. It could be a server, it could be a NAS, it could be a RAID drive, it could be a what can we say? It can be a router as well, right? It can be a modified router to connect to the darknet. So there are n number of sources. So we need to identify that. It's not going to happen like we are going in a house of a in search of some evidence for a cybercrime, and we are going to take a let's just say table lamp, right? The table lamp is not the appropriate source of evidence, right? We will seize a computer, we will not seize a toothbrush, right? So we need to do the identification. Now, after identifying that, after seizing the evidence, we need to preserve it as well. Digital evidence is very, very fragile in nature. It can change by the second. It can change even in the transport, right? Like you seize something. Now you kept that in your evidence bag, you kept that inside your evidence van. It can even change inside that as well. So we need to follow a certain set of procedures known as SOP, standard operation procedures. For with the help of SOPs, we are able to preserve the evidence, right? So now, how do we preserve the evidence? So in case of an hard disk, since we are talking about computer forensics, hard disk is very fragile in nature. So we are all in India, right? And I know some students are from abroad as well. So I'm just trying to create a scene here. So guys, imagine, and it's not even imagination as well, it's the truth. We daily travel by the road, right? And here and there are some pits, there are some holes, there are some manholes that are open, which are not constructed properly, right? Basically, hurdles in our way that does not allow us to does not allow us a smooth travel, right? We will face some sort of disturbances. Now, in case of a hard disk, what will happen if a hard disk is dropped from a certain height? It can die very easily. It can be damaged from the inside. The read and write heads can be damaged very, very easily, right? So to do that, to preserve that from happening, we will follow a procedure. Now, what's the procedure to store a hard disk? So, if possible, and if you have the resources on site, we create a bit by bit copies of the original data. It's called imaging, right? We will learn about in depth and practically in the data acquisition module, which is the module 2. Okay, so we create a bit by bit forensic copies of the original data and keep that inside our hard disk, or maybe a device which is not that much fragile in nature, right? We can keep it in SSD. SSD is not that much fragile in nature as compared to the hard disk, right? We can create a clone of the hard disk in a SSD. There is another challenge. Hard disk cannot be stored in just any temperature. You need a certain temperature, like the home temperature, right? The house temperature, the normal temperature we are used to. We cannot store it in extreme heat or in extreme cold. So we need to maintain that temperature as well. And during the transport, if we are not able to do the imaging on site, during the transport, we must store the hard disk in a certain container which is padded and which is cushioned basically. So even if the container falls or drops on the ground, the hard drive can be saved. Okay. And then there is collection, extracting information using specialized forensic tools while maintaining a documented chain of custody for legal admissibility. Now you cannot just do the normal copy pasting. You have to do the imaging, and that imaging as well is must to be done. Like it's a standard operation procedure. It's made mandatory by the law to do it in via certain procedure only. Why? To maintain the chain of custody, to maintain the integrity of the evidence, basically. Okay, let's move forward. After that, after getting the evidence, taking it to the lab, everything, let's just say we have done the preservation and starting three steps are completed now. We are in the lab. Now we need to perform the analysis. So in the analysis includes reviewing files, metadata, browsing history, system logs, and encrypted data to uncover hidden patterns and suspicious activity. Okay, so basically we are going to analyze the whole data inside a computer system. Now it can be any computer system. It can be a Mac system, it can be a Linux system, it can be a DOS system, it can be a Windows system, right? It can be a personalized OS as well, right? Like for example, it is very much possible that the person is highly technical, so they have combined, or I would say they compiled their own Linux kernel, right? They made their own Linux OS, or they combined or compiled their own Windows kernel. They are using a modified version of Windows for a certain purpose, right? So we have to be aware of those things as well, and it's all part of the analysis phase. And after that, after the analysis is done, we need to make a report that is basically admissible in the court, and to be for the report to be admissible in the court, we need to make certainly three kinds of report. The first report is known as the hash value report, in which we present with the hash value. What is a hash value? We'll learn about it just in a bit. What is integrity and all that? हम उसके बारे में भी सीखने वाले हैं. Okay. Then after that, the second report is the executive. That's for the person who is like I would say the expert witness from the prosecutor's side, okay, or the defense lawyer, whatever the case is. You can be from the prosecutor's side as well, okay. And then there is the basic report, the summary report, which is read by the judges, and all the other non-technical parties, okay. Now just give me 2 minutes and we'll continue. Alright, ठीक है, तो मैं पानी पी रहा था, थोड़ा प्यास लग रही थी, right? And report, what is a report basically? Report होती क्या है? Presenting findings in structured, legally admissible, defensible formats with clear timelines, technical details, and supporting evidence in the courtroom. So, and reporting is usually mandatory in only the cases where there is a a legal proceeding. Usually in the private investigations, there is no need for report. There is only uh, the word of mouth that works. Okay, the word of mouth and the evidence. Now there are different kinds of digital evidence as well. There are literally n number of formats that are inside a computer system. Okay. Now, what are these evidences? So it can be communication records like email, chat logs, deleted messages, right? Instant messaging services that reveal conversations and timeline, right? There can be files and their metadata. There can be different kind of files, right? There can be a photos, there can be videos, there can be PDFs, documents. There are n number of formats for file as well. There can be financial data like banking statement, banking records, transaction logs, banking credentials, cryptocurrency activity, hidden financial documents, right? All these type of things. There can be visual evidence, which we just talked about. There can be screenshots, right? Usually videos and photos, these type of evidence are very crucial where there is a crime like sextortion or blackmailing, right, or cyberbullying. There these type of evidences work, and activity trail as well. And we will see all this in the practical section of this webinar. So I have a case with me right now. I have a real world case. There's an investigation currently going on. So there's a real world case study. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm also going to show a lot of things to you. There can be also malware and breaches. So in case somebody has infected, their let's just say enemy system with a malware, so there will be traces of that in uh, the perpetrator's system as well. Okay, so there are different kinds of evidence to be covered. Now, why is computer forensic crucial? Ensures network integrity, prosecuting criminals, and legal admissibility. Right. And in today's world, where internet and social media and all that is your, what would I say? Like, we wake up early in the morning, or we just wake up in the morning. Then the social media, the mobile devices are the first thing that comes in our hand. Right. Earlier, it used to be the brush when we used to, brush our teeth, but now it's the phone only. So that's why computer forensics is crucial, because everything is inside a mobile device. Also, as the development goes on, as the innovations goes on, in today's world, a computer, you know, is not even necessary to commit a crime. Much of the crime can be committed from a mobile phone only, and that lies inside your pocket, right? You don't need a huge device to commit a cyber crime. Also, with the developments, any mobile device, like mobile devices are coming with the storages as high as 1 terabyte, right? 1 terabyte of storage in your pocket with completely functional computer in your hand. That is a mobile device, right? So in this time, we need computer forensics. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation. Real world impact beyond cybercrime. So now, what's the real world impact? We talked about cybercrime, but digital forensics is not only about cybercrime, right? There are a lot of things as well. Digital forensics is basically about the data, and data can be found in any devices, and data can be found anywhere in any devices. Now, there are corporate investigations. What do we do in corporate investigation? Uncovering intellectual property thefts, right? Trade secret leaks, detecting insider frauds and measuring schemes, investigating the misuse of company system and resources, recovering deleted business communications, right? There can be communications which are not in the interest of the business, made from the business accounts, right? We need to recover those as well. Now, legal and personal matters, providing verifiable evidence in civil litigation, it helps in the litigation as well. Supporting criminal defense and prosecution cases, right? We just talked about that. Verifying authenticity of digital communication. Digital forensics is also used to verify a certain thing. Like, today is the age of AI. I can generate a fake screenshot, I can generate a fake mocked image of anyone, and I can convert that into anything. I can create someone's deep fake, right? And I can spread that in the nature of pornography, or I can do something to harm them personally in their personal life. For example, generating a screenshot to create a feud between a couple, right? I might be the you know I might be the lover of the one person, and I manipulate the other person with a fake screenshot. It's all possible now due to the AI. So or digital forensics is needed in verifying the authenticity as well, to verify whether the photo or a video what we are seeing right now is even authentic or not. Is it fake? Is it AI generated? Right? It's a big war right now. The AI is getting advanced by the second, and it is getting very difficult to basically differentiate between an AI generated image or an original image. So that's where digital forensics comes in, right? There are specialized techniques and tools for that, and documenting financial fraud and disputes as well. So again, digital forensics is all about data, and data can be of any type. Now, what can be the risk of ignoring forensics? If you ignore forensics proceeding, what will happen? Evidence destruction. Sometimes the evidence, the prosecuting evidence, the basically the inculpatory evidence lies inside a device, inside a computer device, inside a mobile device. And if you ignore the forensics, like if you ignore a device, if you ignore the digital forensics, evidence might be get destroyed over the time, and you will not be able to punish the criminal. Legal violations, right? There can be legal violations in an area where you're performing an investigation. For example, you are performing an investigation for a certain crime inside an hospital, and there you ignore digital forensics, right? So what will happen? There can be, there can be violations of HIPAA, there can be violation of GDPR, etc. So we need to know that. And missed opportunities. So what about missed opportunities? There is a lot of data that you can find via digital forensics. Okay. The future of digital truth. Computer forensics is essential for maintaining security, justice, and accountability in our increasingly digital world. As technology advances, the cyber threat evolves. Our role of computer forensics will only grow more critical. From AI powered attacks to encrypted communication, forensic experts must continuously adapt their techniques and uncover digital truth. So, if you'll ask me, sir, is there any point to all of it? Is there any scope for the jobs? Is there any demand? So, the answer is yes, YES with an exclamatory mark in all caps. Okay, there is a huge demand, and it is only going to get up. The demand for digital forensics can only decline when there will be no cybercrime, and that's very highly unlikely to happen. So there will always be demand for digital forensic analyst or forensic analyst in general. Now, let's just move to hard drives now. Okay, we talked about forensics, we talked about general forensics. Now we are going to dive deep inside uh, hard drives. Okay, hard drives is a part of computer. So there are a lot of components that are, kept together, that are connected together to make one computer system. Those are like SMPS, that is your power supply, RAM, processor, motherboard, hard disk, SSD, and other accessories as well, right? So we need to know what's a hard disk is inside and out, right? We all know hard disk looks like this, right? I'll just search for a hard disk. कुछ इस तरीके से दिखती है हार्ड डिस्क, राइट? हार्ड डिस्क लुक लाइक दिस, ऐसे अंदर से दिखती है. इट लुक्स लाइक दिस फ्रॉम द इनसाइड, and from the outside there is just a cover on it, like this one, right? But as a digital forensic analyst, as a digital forensic professional, I must know what's going inside and how this thing is working. and what's the basic fundamentals of an hard disk. So if I'll know that, if I'll have the knowledge of that, I will be able to investigate a crime. I will be able to handle this evidence very, very easily, right? So inside an hard disk, there are sectors, there are clusters. Sectors are the smallest physical storage units. Okay. Traditionally, a sector is of 512 bytes, but now it's 4 KB, kilobytes, okay, per sector. Clusters are the smallest logical units managed by the operating system, comprising multiple sectors. So, multiple sectors are combined together to create one cluster. Cluster is a logical unit, okay, that is managed by your system. Okay, that's not a low level thing. Sector is a low level thing, it's inside the hard disk. Cluster is handled by your operating system, and it can be again Linux, Mac OS, or Windows. Hard disk geometry. So, what's a hard disk from inside? So, there is cylinders, there is heads, there are sectors we just talked about, right? So, we'll just look at the inside of the hard disk for a while. You can see this label diagram, right? Give me a second, guys. All right. सॉरी गाइस, मेरी थोड़ी सी तबीयत खराब है, मेरे को बार बार थोड़ा सा खांसी उठ रहा था, इसलिए मैंने पॉज किया. ओके, नेवर माइंड. So hard disk look like this from the inside. Now, what are the components of a hard disk? If you look closely, the hard disk itself is a computer. So there is a spindle that rotates your hard drive. There is read and write heads that does the read and writing process of the hard drive via the computer. Right? Ignore this saved file. Right? This is just a logical portion. You can ignore this. There is an actuator arm which moves the hard disk back and forth. Okay, there is a power port, there is a data port, there is a terminal port. Terminal port is something that data recovery specialists like us use. Okay, there is a circuit board, also known as the logic port. So hard disk is a computer in itself. It has its own motherboard, it has its own components. Okay, there is arm, I just talked about. It moves back and forth with the read and write heads to do the data operations. Okay, now, and these are the platters. Disk यहाँ पे गलत लिखा हुआ है. This is called platters. This is where your data is stored magnetically. All right. We'll also look for a SSD. Right. So there is an SSD. SSD stands for solid. What's that? Solid state drive, something like that. SSD. So there are different kinds of SSD. This is an NVMe SSD, and this is a SATA SSD. Okay. And we'll look for a diagram, and there is a comparison. Okay. I hope I can open this image separately. Here we can look at it. So, and the basic size of an SSD is 2.5 inches. Okay, hard disks are usually in two variations: 3.5 inch and 2.5 inch. 3.5 inch drives are the desktop drive, and 2.5 inch drives are the laptop drives. They are compatible with each other. It's just about the space. Okay, so now in case of an SSD, there are no moving parts. That's why an SSD is way faster than a traditional hard drive. Also, due to lack of, basically not lack, due to no moving parts inside the SSD, even if you drop an SSD, it won't get damaged like a hard disk would. Okay, so that's the basic difference. Hard disk uses magnetic platters to store the store the data, and SSD uses NAND flash memory. Okay, so that's why this is way faster. But when it comes to reliability in long term, then hard disks are the way to go, because there is a basic flaw inside NAND flash memory, that is it bleeds the data out of during the longer period of time. You must have noticed, you all guys might be having a pen drive or a USB thumb drive you haven't used for a while. So when you plug it in inside your system, you notice it behaves very strangely. You notice that it is getting corrupted. You notice that there is some data missing out of the drive, right? That is the bleeding of the data. So that's the only downside of a NAND flash drive. Alright, so guys, I hope आपको यहाँ तक clear हो रहा होगा. Everything is clear till now. Please let me know in the chats. I know you guys might be getting bored with all the theory session, but believe me, this theory is very, very important. You cannot ignore the theory, but we are going to dive into this practical very, very soon. All right, just give me a second. Let me share my screen properly. I am sharing. There's some issue it's showing me. Okay, just give me a second, guys. All right, now it should be fine. Okay, so now we go into data acquisition. Data acquisition is the critical first step, capturing the data from a powered off or running system using hardware or software, write blockers to ensure integrity. Now we talk about integrity a lot. What is this integrity we are talking about? So integrity is basically that something that was traveling has reached its destination without being tampered. Now, how do we check that? How do we verify that in case of a digital evidence? So we'll see that practically. So here I'll create a notepad file, okay? And here I'll write some text like Wiseman, CyberSec, DFIR, workshop. All right. And I'll save it on my desktop. I'll add a extension to it. Now there is some data inside it. Okay. So every data have its own digital signature or a digital footprint. Okay. So we will do the hashing of this particular file. That hash calculation is a process of hash. The hashing is known as the process of hash calculation of a particular file or the data. That's one way hashing. You cannot change that. Like you cannot crack that hash and get the data back, right? It's like that. So what will happen now? Now I have a tool here known as hash calculator. I'll drop it here. I have generated MD5 and SHA-256 hash. Okay, these are the algorithms of hashing. Now you'll ask, sir, what's the play of integrity here? Now look at this. If I open this, right, like yahin se open kar le. This is the data. Okay. Now let's just say I change something. Like I remove the space between Wiseman and CyberSec, and I save this file. Okay. I'll save this file into this file only. Now I'll copy the text here. This is the hash value of this text. Okay. And we'll find the hash value of this text now. दोनों hash लिख लेते हैं, ठीक है? This is MD5, this is SHA-256. Now, if I calculate the hash of that file again, you notice something, that it is completely changed. It's not even similar to the previous one, and the data is not that much changed, right? So how integrity will be maintained in this case? So you are looking at it now. When we hash something, when we calculate a hash, so after hashing, if there is a very, very minor change inside the data or inside a file, the whole hash, the whole digital signature of that particular data or file gets changed completely. It's not even similar, right? Like it's not even in the range of being similar. You can look at it. It's 638 and it's 2C18. Way, way, way apart. Nobody can guess that, right? This is how integrity is maintained. Now, what will I do? For example, I want to send this file to Wiseman CyberSec. So I'll label this. Okay, so this is very important evidence. I am sending this. So I'll label it as important evidence and I'll add the hash values. Okay. So what will the Wiseman CyberSec will do? Wiseman CyberSec will open this file, basically access this file, and they'll calculate the hash to match the hash. Hash should be the same in their system as well. Okay. There should be no alteration. So in case of any alteration, the hash will change completely and we will know that the integrity has been violated. All right. Now, in data acquisition, there are some imaging formats as well. There is a raw format known as DD or IMG as well. And then there is expert business format known as E01. We are going to learn about them in detail very soon. Now, there are file systems on a hard disk. Okay. Like you cannot access the disk, the platter, the NAND flash memory directly, right? So file system is like a logical piece of software that is installed logically on your device, storage device, which helps you access that device. Okay. So let's just go to disk management for once. Here I go to disk management. Now I'll go to properties. Okay. This C drive. Okay. I'll go to properties now. Here you can notice that the file system is NTFS. Okay. And there is a letter to it. So now you cannot directly access the bare metal, right? To access that, to be able to use that storage that you paid for, you format the drive with the file system. You basically install a file system on that drive and then you give it a drive letter to mount the drive. Okay. So if I remove the letter here, like I am inserting my USB thumb drive here. Okay. It's a example के लिए ले रहे हैं हम. It's an example drive. It's connected. Let me refresh. Not connected yet, or I should say not mounted yet. So there is a drive letter F now. And that's the reason people don't like Windows, right? Now, this is my USB drive. I'm able to access it. I'm able to mount it here. I can do data operations here. I can read or write something from it. I can read from the device. I can write something on it. I can format it. I can delete it. I can do whatever I want. I can rename it. But if I remove the drive letter, it's no longer accessible to me, right? It's no longer accessible for a normal user. It can still be accessible for a power user or a forensic professional like myself. There are different tools for that. For example, there's a tool known as Disk Genius. It's a partition management tool. It's a disk management tool. So here I can see for drive letter nahi hai, there is no drive letter, but I can still browse the partition, right? I can look what the data is there, and even I can create the data here. I can create a new folder. So we can write Wiseman. Okay, and this is the data now. The data is written. Now we'll simply give it a drive letter. As you can see, the folder is there. So we can still interact with the drive or the partition with specialized tools. But what happens in the case of deleted volume? That means there is no file system now. You know, now here is unallocated, right? And we'll look at the uh, what should I say, practical side of it very soon, the recovery side. Now there is there's a letter to it, right? But I cannot access. It is asking me to format the drive, and with format it means install a file system on the drive. Now, can I access the drive again with Disk Genius? Now, will I be able to interact with the drive? It's a question for you guys. Answer it in the chats. Will I be able to create a folder like I did earlier, or will I not be able to do that? क्या लगता है आपको? Please. क्या वो सब सो गए क्या? एक काम करते हैं. I'm giving you the permissions to turn on your mics. Okay, you can unmute now. So if you don't want to write in chats, unmute yourself and give me the answer. What do you think? Will I be able to access this drive? Will I be able to interact with the drive or not? It's a very basic question. सही गलत का कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. If you think you are answering wrong, कोई बात नहीं. That does not make that does not really matter here. I'm here to teach you. I'm just testing your understanding, right? Karthik is saying no. We cannot. Okay, we cannot access that drive as per Karthik. Anyone else? We are able to. Okay, so 50-50 it is. Yeah. Guys, where are you? सो गए क्या सब? Guys, this is just a master class. In the real training, you guys will not come, I guess, then. Right? Okay. Samina Praveen saying yes. Okay, another yes. Okay, we are getting yes. Yes की majority है. Okay. All right. So the answer to this question is no. You cannot interact with the drive without a file system. So you need to have a file system on a drive. Okay. I hope this made sense to anyone so far. And we'll just now, we are formatting it. We are giving it a file system now. Got a file system, and we can access it again. It is as simple as that. So there are different kinds of file system. There is NTFS file system for Windows, that is known as New Technology File System. There is FAT family file allocation table. There is FAT16. There is FAT. There is FAT32. There is ESFAT extended file allocation table. Right. So there are different kinds of file systems available, right? And they have certain features like journaling, passwords and permission encryptions, alternate data stream. Uh, Alternate data stream is used for data hiding, right? Then there is Linux file systems, extended file system, right? So ext2, ext3, ext4, ext4 is used in the Linux right now. XFS and BTFRS are the server grade uh, file systems. Then there is Mac OS file systems, HFS and APFS. So this basically they are hierarchical file system. Okay, they are exclusive to Apple, and their main significance is that they are encrypted file systems. Then there is recovering the lost, deleted files and hidden data. So now let's break some myths and let's do a very interesting thing. Many of you might think that when we do shift delete, right, also known as permanent delete, that means we are deleting all the data, right? That the data is permanently deleted. It's an illusion of deletion, basically. It depends on how the hard disk works. Then we'll also learn about file carving, slack space, and alternative data stream. So we have a pen drive here. Okay, it's not yet mounted. Let it mount, and we'll gather some data. Okay, and then we'll try to recover the data after permanently deleting it in theory. ठीक है? Okay, disconnect हो गया, no problem. I'll plug it again. It's not getting mounted for some reason. It is actually possible that this pen drive is, dead now. I have this pen drive from a very long time now. It is very much possible that it died finally. Right, no problem. Looks like it died. Anyways, we'll use another pen drive. It's a 1 GB pen drive. Now we'll add some data to it, okay? Like this PDF file, this text file, the logo file, and I can add some other PDFs as well. Or there's a video file here, I guess. There's a photo, okay? And what else we can? There is a registry file, okay? We copy it and we'll just simply paste it here, okay? So we pasted the data here, okay? We can see the data. Now we are going to permanently delete this data. Permanently delete. Okay? There is no data now. Now we'll try to recover it. What do you guys think? Will we able to recover it or will we able to not recover it? Tell me in the chats, guys. Fatafat, jaldi jaldi. Will I be able to recover this deleted data or not? Lavanya says yes. Okay. We can be recovered. Okay. Okay. So there is 100% of people saying that data can be recovered. All right. Arun, you are raising your hand. Do you have any question? You can write it in the chat. Okay. So the data can be recovered. Okay. Can somebody tell me why the data can be recovered or how the data can still be recovered? Using tools like autopsy. Autopsy is a very big suite. We don't need autopsy right now. Using a tool is one thing. I am asking how the recovery is possible. Why the recovery is possible. FTK. FTK is also a tool. I'm not asking for a tool. I am asking why the recovery is possible. Can anyone tell me that? Completely fine if you don't know the answer. I'm here to teach only. One with the answer. नहीं आता है तो it's completely fine. If you don't know the answer, it's completely fine. If you know the answer, well and good. If there is a backup, it will be still in recycle bin or be allocated as free space. I have deleted it permanently. It's not inside the recycle bin. See, the recycle bin is empty. There is nothing there. Be allocated as a free space. What do you mean by that? Allocated as a free space. In disk space if it's not overwritten. Okay. So there are people with a bit of understanding of the things. The answer is correct. The data can be recovered, and to be honest, in the current situation, it's very easy. I'll use recover it. Will recover now, and then I'll show you why the data was able to be recovered. So I'll select a folder if it lets me. That is, oh no, I still got recovery, please. Yes, USB drive, and we're going to scan it. And as we can see, we have the whole data. We pasted these things only, right? It is categorized as well. Basically, we were able to get the data back. We can now recover it with the tool. Now, why we were able to get the data back? There's a reason to it. I'm opening this disk in at the low level. Okay, as here you can see the sectors, right? So why were we able to get the data? It's a very simple reason, and I'll just show it to you. Just a sec, guys. There was a PDF and then there was a photo as well, right? JPG. So, you know, until and unless the data is overwritten, it is still present in drive. When we delete it, the data is just, that particular space is marked as free to use. The data is still there until unless we overwrite it with something else. Okay. Now, I'll do one thing. You can see that there is nothing on the drive. Okay. I'll show you something. Now, I'm searching a certain hex data, right? A certain hex stream. Let the search complete. In the meantime, can anybody tell me what am I doing right now? What did I search? Why I have opened H60, a hex verification tool, or a hex data dump tool, whatever you can say, whatever you want to say. Now we are met with an error. Error says unable to find something, which shouldn't be right, to be honest, but never mind. Basically, what I was doing, I was finding the data manually in the sectors. Right here, you can see that this is the presence of data here. Okay, you can see it here. There is the presence of data. Now, a file is made with a header and a footer. So this is the file that we want to recover. Okay, so we'll search for this particular entry. I'll search. Okay, I'll paste it here and I'll search. And here you go. I got this. Okay. Now, if I go a bit down, like scroll down, so there is some data, and you can see that I'm crossing some sectors here. Okay. We'll talk about that later on. and I think I have already got all the data. Now I can copy this, I can create a new file, paste it there, and save this file as a JPEG. So if I got the correct data, there will be file. Now here you can see that I have got a only a very small portion of the image, right? That's because I have got only this amount of data. Now after all the bits and bytes, if I go on and copy this whole data and paste it into a new file and create a new file, I will be able to get the data back. Okay, so that's how data recovery basically works. It's all inside your disk until it is overwritten. Now again, there's a situation, there's a question for you guys. So I'll take these three files, I'll paste them there. Okay, and now tell me, will I be able to recover the data or not? Like I am going to format it. Okay, I have performed a quick format and delete it now. So will I be able to get the data now? No, no. Okay. Samina says no. Lavanya says no. What about others? Guys, और लोग क्या सोचते हैं? Will I be able to get the data back now? I formatted the drive. Alright, I won't waste the time. So I won't tell you the answer. Let's just scan the drive. Okay, we'll just scan the drive. Let's just say we use Recuva this time. It's a pretty shitty tool, to be honest, but sometimes it works. Okay, so we want pictures. There were two JPG files, right? So we'll select targeted scan for pictures. We select the drive. Next, we're doing a quick scan. Okay, no files were found. What about if we do a deep scan? Will there be any files? Or is it possible that I do scanning from some other tool and I get the data? Is it possible, guys? Maybe no. Okay. So let's just let this complete first. After that, we'll try a different tool. And then there's another scenario for you. This is the anti-forensic techniques that criminals use. This is what I deal with on the daily basis. I work as a investigator, right? So this is what I deal with on the daily basis. They try to delete the data. They think they have deleted the data. Deleted the data. They think that I won't be able to access it, but I am able to access it. It will take some time. In the meantime, if anyone have any question, do let me know. I was able to get the data back. I have the data, not completely, but I have a data. In fact, I get the data which I stored before the format as well, right? मैंने override भी किया. I put on some data, right? I put some data on. I formatted it. I shift deleted it, and then I put some data on it, and then I formatted the drive. Yet I am able to get the data which I pasted in the first day, in the first place, right? This is the background image. Now we'll scan with the different tool. So let's just say we use this time. What should we use? Let's just use DMD this time. Okay, it's a pretty good and free tool to a limit. Now here I wasn't able to get any data, right? I am doing a complete scan of this 1 GB pen drive. Let's just wait for it and just see if we are able to get anything. Now, this is called raw recovery. In the case of raw recovery or file carving, we often lose the file name. Okay. The one I did by the copy pasting the bits and bytes manually, that's manual carving. And that is how digital forensics was done some years ago when there were no automated tools or recovery tools. Let the scan finish and we'll look at it now. So data to mil gaya. We were able to get the data. Now we'll do one more thing because there is another scenario and I have a question for you in that as well. Right? It's scanning. Let the scan finish. After that, we'll look at it and then we'll jump into the case study, the real practical scenario that I'm having currently right now. So the moment of the truth. Have I found data or have I not found the data? So I have lost the file name completely. It's a random name. There are some graphic files, right? And will you look at it? I got the data, right? And there is the JPG image that I am able to preview. This complete image, this is the image that I made, and I think the PDF won't be previewed. Yeah, but it is a PDF. We know it, right? And there are no other types of files. So we were able to get the data now. Now, another scenario. We again copy some data. Right. So, mind you, I am completely overwriting this drive currently in theory. So, I shouldn't be able to get the data, right? Now, what I will do is I'm going to disk management and I am going to drill the volume. Now, tell me, will I be able to get the data? Deleted the complete file system. Will I get the data now? Guys, I'm waiting for your answer. No. Okay. This is the professional data recovery software known as R Studio. Use it in my cases. Now, this is the drive we are working on, right? And will you look at that? There is a deleted partition, it says. Let's just open it. And there is the data intact, completely intact. We were able to get the data again. Another scenario. So it says there is no media. Right now, and Windows hanged again. So yeah, this is something even I can't do anything about. So I'll create a new volume now. And that's why these other tools exist in the market. The Windows tool is very shitty. the tool that is supposed to be the right way to go, it's shitty. So never mind, we'll use an partition manager, right? It's unallocated. So we'll quickly partition it. Oh, 1 GB disk is not supported. Okay, very good. We'll use another tool. We'll use Disk Genius. And then this is the last scenario for now. Okay. So I go to quick partition. I'm going to create a single partition. I'm going to rebuild the MBR as well. Okay. And I will clear the label, make a primary partition. I'll do the FAT32 and 4096. Okay. It got the file system now. Now what I'm going to do is I pasted some data. Shift deleted the data. Okay, so I am permanently deleting the data. And after that, I am formatting the drive as well. Okay, formatted the drive. Being completed. And then I am going to delete the volume. Now tell me, will I get the data? I am going to use RStudio. So tell me, will I be able to get the data? There is deleted partition to detect HORA. It is getting detected. Okay, open karte hain. We got the data, but it is not the data that we want. Or do we? You know why this is not the data that we want right now? Because this is the previous data that I showed you. And I know this because there isn't a cross mark on it. Cross stands for deleted. Now I'll do this thing. I'll scan the drive, okay, and I'll scan for only fat systems because I know that the file system that I use was file allocation table, and I'm going to scan this. There are some entries that we are getting, okay. We'll let it complete, and after that we are going to jump, not jump. We are going to start with data acquisition. That how data acquisition works and how do we acquire data, okay. Scanning, it is taking a bit of time. Now this goes without saying that the bigger the drive, the more time it needs for a scan, okay. So that goes without saying. How do we know about the drive if it's even having some sort of data or not without even scanning? That's a part that I teach in my advanced training. You can enroll for it. The batch will soon start. In any suspect server, how can we know that this is the original data or not? What do you mean by original data? There are some recognized file systems. I'll open the third one. You people are quick to find me on LinkedIn, huh? Good, great. All right. So there's a partition. There are some files, document files. There are text files. Can I preview that text file? Okay, a normal file. There's a graphic and picture. Yes, we have this file. So we are able to get the data again. Okay. We are still able to get the data. The only case where we will not be getting the data is when we'll completely overwrite the drive. Okay. Now we come to data acquisition. Before that, थोड़ा theory देख लेते हैं. What's data acquisition? There are tools like थोड़ा tools के बारे में बात करें. There are tools like SleuthKit, Autopsy, commercial tools like NKS, FTK, Toolkit, Access Forensics. You have seen those installed in my system. Evidence in a deleted document, we just see. Now we go into the data acquisition part. So data acquisition is all about evidence preservation only. There is a forensically sound copy. There are a lot of different types of formats in which we can create a disk image, like it's an E01, it can be a DD, raw file, it can be AFF, right? So there are a lot of uh, file formats available out there. It can be an ISO, it can be IMG as well, it can be DMG as well. Okay. Now, in the evidence acquisition, there is a thing known as volatility. So volatility is basically how critical the data is. In case of an system, like we went on a site for investigation and there is a system that is in turned on state, like it's on right now. So the priority of ours is to gather the RAM evidence, to gather the RAM acquisition. But if the system is off, we seize the system and we perform the dead analysis. Okay. And there are some legal standards as well. You can read that out. You will get this PPT. There is live acquisition, there is static acquisition. Acquiring data from a powered off system in a forensically sound manner, it's your static acquisition. And live acquisition is from turned on system, which is powered on, which is running right now, right? And it is very, very crucial in the case of an system which is encrypted by a BitLocker or any other encryption technology. There are formats, there are raw formats, there are proprietary formats that like E01, there is AFF. It's an open source format made by Autopsy's founders, baseline technology, hardly ever used. DD and E01 are the most used in the industry. Now, there are different approaches. You can either create a bitstream disk to image, you can create an image file, you can create a disk to disk image, you can create a logical acquisition, or you can create a sparse acquisition. Disk to image stands for converting the whole disk into an image file. Disk to disk is a clone of the drive. Logical acquisition is cloning a certain portion of the drive, right? For example, there are 10 partitions in a drive. You are performing a logical acquisition of partition number 5, right? That's a logical acquisition. Then there is a sparse acquisition, right? Collecting fragments of unallocated data. So there is some unallocated partition or data on the drive. So you just collected that space only. That is your sparse acquisition. There are some hardware tools needed, like hardware write blockers are must, right? So let me show one device to you. I hope मेरा कैमरा चलेगा. Hi guys. So this is the device that I'm talking about. It acts as a write blocker. See, दिख रहा है? Are you guys able to see it? It is a data recovery tool by definition, but it acts as a write blocker as well, and I use it very much in my cases. Currently जो case मेरे पास आ रखा है, I am using this only as my write blocker. This also handles unstable drives. Okay, so this is a write blocker. मेरे palm के size का है, देख सकते हो, पूरा हाथ जितना भी नहीं है, it's my palm size only. So this is how a write blocker looks like, and there are other write blockers as well. Like there is a this Tableau write blocker. You can search for it. It's like I guess 1 lakh in cost. Same like this one. This costed me around 1.5 lakhs when I purchased it, and it handles unstable disk as well. So it has a one up than the other uh, tools available out there. Abhishek is raising his hand. Do you have any question, Abhishek? If you have any question, ask in the chat. There are software toolkit that is needed like FTK Imager, DD, Autopsy, in case mobile forensic cases when there are other tools. Then there is forensic acquisition workflow, preparation, method selection, imaging, verification, searching and documenting. Encrypted data होता है, उसके अलग एक सिस्टम रहता है, वो भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा, प्रैक्टिकली दिखाऊंगा हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू बाईपास द पासवर्ड ऑफ अ सिस्टम. ओके, forensically sound verification certificate, the integrity part. We already talked about data recovery. Now let's perform data acquisition. So this is the tool known as FTK Imager. It's a free tool. Anybody can download it. Is it possible to recover the data from a device after it has been flashed? Yeah, this is the question about mobile device forensics. We will cover it tomorrow. Currently, I won't take this question. It will be jumping off from the topic. But why not research about it before tomorrow's session and let me know? Okay. If you don't find any clear answers, I will be teaching you everything. Okay. So there's this tool. Is it similar to extract data from Mac OS? The data recovery part or the data cloning or data acquisition part? No. Mac OS have a different approach. Linux have a different approach. DOS have a different approach. Custom operating system have a different approach. Encrypted system have a very different approach. In encryption, there are different kinds of encryption. Veracrypt, different approach. There is LVKS encryption via Linux, different approach. There is BitLocker from Windows, different approach. And then there is Mac OS File Vault, a very, very different approach. Everything requires a very different approach in digital forensics. Digital forensics is not only about the tools. Tools are here to make your work easier. They are not going to do your work for you. Okay. Now, getting back to FTK Imager. It's a free tool to create disk image. What's the usual part we do is we connect the drive that is that is supposed to be cloned to the write blocker, and then write blocker is connected to the system. The write blocker act as a bridge between both and disables the write operations to preserve the integrity of the device. Here we can go into create disk image, then we'll select for physical image. Now you can see that there are different options available. You can create a physical image, you can create a logical image, you can create a image file of an image file. Okay, so this is a, to be honest, this is a wrong here from so many years. Ignore this part. You can acquire a particular folder also, or you can acquire a CD or DVD as well. We are going for a physical drive, drive number 2, then we'll finish. Now here we'll choose the format. Like if we opt for raw format, there will be zero compression. The file will be the same, will be of the same size that of the drive. Like for example, the drive here is I guess 938 MB, I guess. Let's check it once. Windows was unable to format. बहुत बढ़िया. 964. Okay. So 964 MBs of the data is there, or I would say the capacity of the storage media. So if I opt for a raw image, the same size will be of the image as well. If I opt for E01, which is widely accepted, widely used throughout the industry, right? Then there will be options for compression, right? Now here I am just adding any detail right now as it is not the real case. I'll store the data on the desktop in the evidence file part. I'll name it as a test image, and I can even split it into different images. Like I can split a 2 GB file into a 1 GB fragments, and there will be two fragments of 1 GB. Okay, but I don't like fragmentation. I'll do that zero, and I would like to compress the image, for example. So I between 0 to 9 I press 6 and I finished. I have ticked verify the image, and I'll just start the imaging process now. Now it will start creating a E01 image on the directory or the folder which I have gave it to it. Okay, so evidence files, and there will be this test E01. Okay, so there is some malware samples as well. It's covered in my detailed advanced training when I teach about malware forensics. So it is a very small drive, so it will take a very less amount of time. Let's just wait for it to happen. And Mac forensics is also covered inside my advanced training, right? And then after that, we are going to dive into this case study now. All right, so imaging is completed and verify the result. It's a match. It's a complete image of the disk. Now we'll check the size. It's 952 MBs. Okay, so it wasn't compressed, or I would say it wasn't compressed much, right? But if I create a raw image, it will be of this size only, this 960 MB. Okay, so it's a match. This is how basically the acquisition is done, and I can mount the image as a virtual drive as well, and I can add the evidence here, like the drive. Okay, so this is the partition. I can check for the data inside it. I can check for the different kind of files like this MFT file. This is also covered inside Windows Forensics, right? It's also part of my advanced training. So I can browse the evidence here only. I cannot do any other operation, but I can acquire and browse the evidence, right? So next we have covered data recovery. How data recovery is done. Recycle bin we all know about. Now we are going for this practical case I have. So guys, let me show you the disk. Okay, again I'm opening my camera. Focus on your screen, guys. Camera off ho gaya hoga mera. Yes. So this is the drive I am having right now. I don't know if it will focus. It's an NVMe SSD of a system. Okay, it's a laptop system. This is a 512 gigabytes of drive, and it is password protected from the Windows authentication. Now I'm going to use an NVMe enclosure. It looks like this. So it will be inserted here. Okay, and then I'll add it inside the casing of it. Complete package. It is acting as an external drive like we do with the hard drive and SSD. Now there will be a cable for it. Here it is. This is the Type C cable. Okay, USB A to Type C cable. it is going to be connected here, and also मेरी screen भी share है, ठीक है, very good, and I am connecting it to the system. Okay, now focus on the screen again, turning off my camera. It is connected now, it is detected. This is only a demonstration, it is not done in real life without a right blocker. Okay, so here I have created a virtual machine out of this. I will show you that there is a password on this drive. ठीक है, मैं दिखाने के लिए आपको दिखा रहा हूँ that there is a password on this drive. So this is the image and it is using this particular SSD as its virtual disk. I'll simply start the machine. It took the permission to access the physical drive and then it will boot. So it's a Windows 11 machine. The person in question is named Rishabh. He's a 19-year-old guy involved in drug activities online and children grooming. Very serious offenses. So it is password protected here, right? I don't know the password. I cannot go inside the uh, system. I want to explore the system, right? I want to see how the system actually is from the inside. Now, before that, I'll basically now shut down the system. This was just to demonstrate you that there is a password on this drive right now. So I have created an image of this system on my forensic workstation, which I'll connect to remotely. So I am connected to the system now. I'll zoom. This is my forensic workstation. Here I have उससे पहले आप partition देख लो. There is a folder CSC9 cracked. ठीक है, तो मेरे पास same data की image file है यहाँ पे. So I'll open a tool known as Arsenal Image Mounter. It's a commercial tool, it's a paid tool, and the functionality that I'm going to use it's paid as well. I'll go to mount the disk. This is the image. Okay, this is the clone image img file, and I'll use it to boot as an uh, virtual machine, right? So device write temporary. So here I am allowing temporary write on the RAM, not on the drive, so integrity will be maintained. Device is basically mounted now, and here you can see the same drive it is, PC9 cracked and all that, right? So now with using Arsenal Image Mounter, I am going to bypass the Windows password and use the system as my own in a virtual machine. So I'll click on launch VM. It will give me some settings preparing to launch a virtual machine. Okay, it is scanning the file system, trying to gain the registry, trying to perform the pin and password attacks. This is the part of this suite. Okay, so it will take a bit of time. It will generate a temporary virtual machine for me to interact with. Sometimes जो evidence हमको चाहिए, the evidence we want can be only obtained from a live system only, or we have to present it that this thing actually existed. So I'll connect this to internet. I'll allow copy paste, and I'll click on bypass Windows authentication. Okay. There are advanced options as well, like enable nested virtualization, disable RDP. I click on OK. Now it will create a temporary virtual machine. I will unmount the drive now. Now this is the virtual machine I want to interact with, I want to work on. I'll start it. It will use Hyper-V. Ignore the logo, guys. Okay, Hyper-V ka logo aata because we are using Hyper-V to basically work with the drive. Now I'll full screen it. Getting devices ready, it says. ये इसलिए आता है because we are accessing the system in a very different configuration, so it will configure itself accordingly. Again, the system will not be modifying the RAM. All the configurations, all the things that are being changed are inside the RAM as well, RAM only. As long as this disk is active, everything, every change will be done in the RAM only. Right after I shut down this disk, all the changes will be lost. So integrity is maintained. Okay, I'm getting an virus alert. What's that now? Okay, I'll resolve it. There's a malicious PDF somewhere. Just booted. We'll open it. And here you can see it is asking for a password. Same user. Okay. There is a other user as well. I can log in as an administrator as well. But I want to log in as Rishabh user only. Authentication is bypassed. Doesn't matter what I do. I press enter and I will log in. Same procedure can be used for bypassing Microsoft account as well. Okay. Or we can create an administrator account temporarily on the system to bypass the Microsoft account, the online logging system. Now here it will, it is checking for some updates and backup and all that thing. So this is all uh, Microsoft garbage. इसका तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. And I am inside the system of the person who is in question. Okay. Now I want to investigate. I want to look around as the user would. So I'll go into downloads. Tick. Documents, music, pictures. I'll check all that. I can check all that. I can, there are certain tools like there's a tool which is free and open source. You can use that. So we'll use the guest mode. There is this tool known as NIR launcher. It's from the site called NIRSoft. We'll download it. It's a pack of tools. I'll download it on the desktop itself and the password. And I'll need to download 7-zip as well because there's, and you can see that when I press this num lock button inside the system, right? Here, since it was in this system, it was SP Victus. It is even getting the same icons as well, right? So it is just the victims or the person in question system acting as if it's real, just virtually. Okay. So this is the part of forensic. This is how interesting forensics is. I'll install this 7-zip now. And again, just to remind you guys, there are no changes being made on the disk itself. All the changes are on the RAM only. Now, I'll copy the password. Instagram inboxes and all that are getting open. That means the person was active on Instagram. So we can look for the Instagram then. So it's completely depend on our methodology, how we are going to analyze a particular system, how we are going to perform a particular investigation. I'll go to NetSoft. I'll paste the password. It is working just like a normal system. I go to Net Launcher, and with that, now here I can do some things like, for example, I want to check the browser cache. I want to check the browser history. So the person in question, this is a real case study, is addicted to adult content, the pornographic content, and is involved deeply in the same and in drug use, drug abuse, and all that things. So we are looking for that particular type of evidence. The person was on uh, Discord, and on Discord as well, that person was browsing adult content only by paying it, by getting the free channels and all that. So we were able to verify that that person was actually a addicted person. He was mentally ill, and here we can see the history of Google, right, including both the profiles. And we can in fact search as well. For example, I can search for I know that this site exists, right? I can perform a targeted search. So you can see that there are the URLs. I am able to filter them. There are other URLs as well. This person is a very serious case, to be honest. Mm, the parents were very concerned about him. That's why they opted for the investigation services, because his laptop was locked and the person is in rehab currently, and they wanted to know that what actually happened to their kid. So this is the real case, guys, and yeah, this is the Chrome history, right? And it includes deleted history as well. We can do this cookie viewing as well. There is the data, the cookie data which is stored on your system. So Chrome cache view, we can view the cache, or we can view the cached images, right? So here is the preview. How now I am browsing the system as if I am the owner of the system. Okay, browsing history view. It includes all the browsers. See, so this is how investigation is done. I can also recover the saved password from uh, this system now. Okay, but I won't do that obviously. I can create an Elsa stump and crack the Windows password as well. Like I want to know the Windows password, so I can perform a targeted attack for that as well, right? Like just in case I don't want to, bypass the password. I want to enter it, or I just want to know it, just in case. So in that case, I can crack the password like that. All right. So guys, this is the bit of glimpse of digital forensics and your Windows forensics. I'll just shut it down. The system shut it down, and I'll just simply remove the drive. All the data, all the changes are completely gone because they were in the virtual RAM. I'll disconnect from here now. So I hope, guys, this thing you were able to understand. This thing was interesting to you. There's another part which is known as file signature analysis. We are going to do a bit of it. So many times when we perform analysis, we are left or we are met with files which have no extensions at all. Now, how do we know the extension of a file? How do we know what file this is? What extension will there be? So there comes the tool known as Gary Kessler's index and your hex editor. So I'll open it in my hex editor. There's this tool. Continue free mode. It's a free tool. You can use that. Okay, guys. Okay, no. This is not what's supposed to happen. Let me open it into HXD. HXD is a very good free tool for the investigation. Okay, there is no data inside it. What happened to the file? These files got corrupted or something. The file one is corrupted only. Okay. Yeah. Okay. File was all right. All right. So we'll generate a file here. Okay. Just a second, guys. I have some files here, right? This PNG file, okay. I'll paste it here and I'll remove the extension. Yes. Huh? What happened? File. So it is somehow a DLL file. I don't know how. Oh, it's a system file. It is marked as a system file. Ignore that. Now, I don't know the extension of these files. What will I do now? So there is this site known as Gary Kessler. I'll open HXT. I'll do the file signature analysis. I'll investigate the signature. Okay. So this is a file. कौन सी file है? I don't know. I'll copy the starting part. This is called header, and I'll simply paste it here. And I'll keep deleting the useless bits until I hit a result. Okay. I hit a result. It shows me that it's an EML file. So this is an EML file. I can give it an EML extension. Okay. It can be MST file as well. So it's an EML file now. And to view that, I can open it in EML viewer. I don't know if I have that or not. I have mail examiner. Here I can open this EML file. We paste the header here. Let me just show you again. So file 3, I pressed Control F and I searched for hexed values. Sorry. Okay. I searched for hex values, which I found from this tool, Gary Kessler. All right. Now, just to confirm that it is actually an EML file, I'll create a sample case W, whatever the name is. Okay. Now I add an EML file here. Here, EML file. Browse for the selected file. Go to evidence files, fancy capsule, and then here is an EML file. Okay. And I click on add. Processing is going on. Next item. There is an EML file. Here it is. So it was an EML file after all, because I'm able to view it. Okay. It was an email file basically. So we got the correct header. Correct extension. Now on to the file number 3. So file number 3, I can tell by the decoded text it's an HTML file, but I'll still search for it. Okay. I'll copy the header. I'll go to Gary Kessler. I'll click Control F for find. I'll paste the data. I'll remove the useless bits and bytes or whatever the data it is. And I eventually hit something. This is inside, couple of values. It's in the middle of couple of values. So this is not the result. This is the result we are looking for. It's an AOL HTML file. HTML mail file. So it can be AOL, it can be DCI. Okay, there are different kinds of extension for that. Then we have another file, second last file. There is not much sense going on here, right? Everything is almost gibberish. So we'll again copy, go to Gary Kessler, paste, remove the useless data, and we can see it that it's the Microsoft file, right? And it can be any file, PPT, document. So we can, create a copy. We give it PPT and we give this one doc. I open this in Microsoft, and here I got the flag. Okay, and I can change the color. I can see control by selecting all if there is any hidden data, right? And in the PPT as well, I am able to get the data. PPT is also a certain a text file to a certain extent. It didn't open. We can try PPTX as well, and as you can see, it's a different file. So it was not a PPT file; it was a doc file. Now the last file, we'll perform the analysis here. File 1. You can see it's a PNG file in the decoded text, and we'll copy it. Go to Gary Kessler, Control Paste, and you can see it's a PNG extension. We'll close this. Galat system close over. Sorry. And then this PNG. It's a PNG file. So this is how you do file signature analysis, carving process. I have already told you about the raw data recovery. Limitations are fragmentation, overwriting, and file naming. You lose the file name. Overwriting, after the overwriting, the data is completely gone. You cannot recover that data. And sometimes there is segmentation or loss of fragments of data, like this one. Like we have the half data and we lost half data, right? And then we deep dive into Windows forensics. We bypass the password, right? We viewed certain evidences there. There are a lot of evidences in there. It is covered in very, very depth in my advanced training, right? There is browser data, there's link file, there's metadata, file signatures, and whatnot. There's Microsoft account bypassing, there is credential dumping. We all did that. Credential dumping, I told you the methodology, didn't do that, right? And there are certain tools like Belkasoft X, Magnetaxium, Forensic Toolkit, Autopsy, Encase, HSTEX, History Examiner Extraction Inventory, Reg Bulk Extractor, Photorec. So these are some tools that are used in Windows forensics very, very heavily. And this is the end of day 1 of DFIR Masterclass, guys. Tomorrow, we will meet at the same time and we will dive deep in mobile forensics. I hope आपको ये session पसंद आया होगा. You like this session. If you did like this session, do let me know. And I hope to meet you guys in tomorrow's session. That is all from my side, guys. If there are any questions, drop them in the chats. And I do hope that you found this session interesting, knowledgeable, and useful for you. So thank you very much, guys. If there are any questions, I can take them. We have 4 minutes left or 3 minutes. Thank you so much, guys. If there are not any, we are just going to end this session now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. You have been lovely, audience.